Here is your uniform and your air chariot.
Yes! Hail, omnipotent one! Hail to thee in all thy radiant majesty! Oh, your primary function will be as a figurehead, a sterling symbol of the power and unanimity of Cobra. You will give them someone to look up to while I make all the important decisions.
Then start by deciding where you want to be buried.
Who will occupy the Cobra throne? Who among these two great Cobra leaders with very different leadership styles and backgrounds, which of them will win out today in this battle, head-to-head battle of Cobra Commander versus Serpentor, the Cobra Emperor? Cobra! Here we are for another Cobra play day, and this one just might be the biggest one yet. That's right, we have HasLab's Serpentor Cobra Emperor from Hasbro, and we have Cobra Commander, Ultimates Cobra Commander in the hood from Super 7 in conjunction with Hasbro. Two Cobra leaders going head to head. Let's open these shipper boxes. And there is Serpentor all packaged out in that cool suitcase looking with a slip cover box. And then there is Cobra Commander really looking awesome, but we're going to take the plastic off because he's got a slip cover on as well. You already see some metallic blue going on there and that awesome Cobra symbol on both of these packages. So first taking a look at Serpentor, Cobra's Emperor. You can see this slip cover. You see it's number 57 with those emblems on the side. And then that awesome looking poster on the back. Just take a look at that artwork. That is just so amazing. That's looking really awesome. Just take a look at that. That's cool. All right, just a lot of awesome detail there. Same thing on this end. There is a Cobra symbol on top, and then just the barcode and some legalese on the bottom. So let's go ahead and slide the slip cover off here. And you can see it just continues to make that suitcase look, I call it. And then you have a DNA strand cool going along with the Cobra symbols head to head, and then it becomes a doorway into, there they are, Serpentor's room. Just take a look at that. Isn't that awesome? So we have all the goodies, and we're going to take a look at it a little closer over here in our Cobra headquarters. Take a quick look at the box of Cobra Commander, and you again see that there is some metallic shine to that outside cover. You see the embossing of G.I. Joe symbol there. Just really nice. That Super 7 does a great job as well with their covers, and even a dog tag going on right here. You can see that. That is so cool. Cobra Commander, Cobra the enemy. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh man, this is my favorite Cobra figure. Destro would have to be my second, and then Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender come in a close third, which I haven't gotten Dr. Mindbender in yet, but look at that. Man, Super 7. I can't wait to see how these compare side by side. I'm hoping he's not too big to go alongside of my Serpentor, but he might be. I know that Hasbro's supposed to be releasing one of these eventually. If you ordered the His Tank in those tiers, you're supposed to get one of these, which I'm thinking means that later down the line we will get 1, 2 through the classified. But this is Super 7's Ultimates line, and so far this is the only one I've ordered. I've not ordered all of them because they're just so expensive, but I had to have this classic looking, you know, the whole cartoon in the 80s look to Cobra Commander, and he comes with some goodies as well. And just take a look at this back. I mean, I know Serpentor's packaging is very impressive, and there's been a lot of reviews up on him, but I just wanted to take a look at this awesome Cobra Commander along with him along with Serpentor, and just take a look at that. That is just so neat the way they did the back here, and you even have a file card. So if you want to pause and read that now, you can. All right, let's go ahead and take this Cobra Commander out of the package over here in a moment. But first, we are going to take a closer look at that Serpentor packaging. And here we are in Cobra Command Center, the Cobra headquarters itself. And we're about to take a look at the packaging of Serpentor. But just look at all these that have gathered together to see what is going on with their new Emperor and leader, Serpentor. And now to open up those doors and take a closer look at the inside here. Oh man, this is just looking so cool. Wow, just look at there. And there we have it opened all the way. Had to prop those doors up a little bit, but just take a look at all of these different accessories that are in those little windows there on the side. You can see a picture of his chariot there, which I'm sure it'll be in pieces back there. His staff, a little snake staff and a sword. And there he is with his headdress equipped, his cape, that snake coming around him. Just look at there, just take a look at him right quick in this packaging. It is just so neat. Wow. Just take a look at that. That is just so awesome. All right, we've spent enough time on the outside. Let's go on inside and really get a look at what we're checking out here. And there's a quick look at the chariot on the inside of the box after you remove that inner core piece of box and the larger part. So you do see it's in pieces. You have a little area there where the weapons and the accessories are stored. So I just wanted to give you a quick peek at that. First, let's take a look at their accessories. First, taking a look at Serpentor, he only comes with one set of hands, unfortunately, and that is 2 weapon-holding hands, and that's it. He does not come with any hands. He comes with 2 headsets. This one is mounted and unmovable because of the fact that the top of the snake head and the cobra flared out part are attached. But if you want to be able to move his head, he also comes with them separated so that you can kind of snap on that cobra head part and then have the flared out part attached to his back so that his head will move separate from it. So that was really cool that they did that for us. He comes on that hand, that right hand, a fang style weapon that's short, and then a fang style weapon that's extended that just snaps right on there. Of course, he comes with a cool rubber cobra snake, which is really neat. It's not posable, doesn't have a wire in it or anything, but it's certainly neat to have. He comes with a sword, as you see there, with like a jewel and the hilt there. He also comes with a really nice cobra staff with a cobra head on the top. His is much longer than Cobra Commander's and has a jewel in the bottom of it as well there. And then he comes with this little simple little scepter that is just a straight snake. And again, there's no wire in it, but you can bend it a little bit. And so that rounds out most of his small accessories. Of course, his biggest accessory of all, other than his cape that is on him, which can be removed, is of course his chariot. And we'll be taking a closer look at that after we do the action figure reviews. But that is Serpentor's accessories. Now for Cobra Commander's accessories, which are much more extensive. He comes with 4 sets of hands and then 2 specialty type hands. He comes with a lot of hands. So he comes with that a set of balled up fisted hands, and one of them is equipped on the figure. Then he has a pointer finger with kind of a gesturing hand. Then 2 kind of weapon holding hands here. and then a very specific trigger finger hand here that is actually indented for a specific, to hold a specific piece. And then as you see here, he also has this snake that has a hand under it. It has a peg in it, and then there's a hole in the bottom of this globe, and this snake is wrapped around that world globe, which this is illustrated because of one of the episodes in the cartoon in the 80s. We remember this snake from that. I don't remember exactly what episode it was in, but it certainly was something we saw. So that's one of the specialty hands. And then another specialty hand is this hand that is, it's almost like a balled up fisted hand, but it has a hole straight through it that is just perfect for this scepter, the snake scepter, cobra snake scepter. And then you have this odd looking gun or pistol thing here, which I'm sure is again something that we saw in the cartoon. Has a very unique signature to it, and we'll look at it closer. But it even has like a screen and some stuff on the back end of it, as you might be able to tell there looking around there. But then these binoculars with the cobra symbol and a strap, and then you see this other machine gun here, then two pistols, one with some red markings on it and a cobra symbol. It's a little shorter, and then one that is just plain with nothing but blue. So you see all of those smaller ones, even a detonator looking device with a cobra symbol, and even another type device that has like a little slider on it there. So with some colors, bars like levels going up, and a knob on the top. So these are some very probably cartoon specific accessories. And then it even comes with a cape, and mine is awfully pink. I thought it was going to be a little bit more red, but it is very pink. But it does have some metal little rivets on the top there, and it's wired all the way around. Couldn't tell if it's magnetic or not. I don't think so. I think you are to depend on the wires to kind of wrap it around him, and we'll take a look at all of that in just a few moments. It comes with two helmets. One that is just plain with the silver mask and blue helmet part, and then another one with the silver mask but with the stripe along the top. And mine has a little bit of a paint smudge there on the side, but other than that, he's looking pretty good. But you know what? We're going to look here at the height in just a minute, but it looks like Serpentor is just a tad taller, so I think this is going to work. Even though the Ultimates is certainly larger than Classifieds, this Serpentor is obviously bigger than most of your Classifieds, and we'll take a look at all of that in comparisons. But just take a look at these behemoths of terror, terrorists themselves, of one of the most well-known terrorist organizations in the world, Cobra! So now let's look at their articulation. And as you see, I removed the one piece that he had on here, that basically when you plug that in the top of his head and the back of his back, it restricts his head from moving. So he comes with a separate flared out Cobra piece here, as well as the Cobra cap, Cobra snake looking cap. And you can see what's going on here with him. And then on his back, underneath his cape, there is the peg. So we're going to go ahead and put in, because we want to be able to see his articulation on his head. So we're going to go ahead and attach this like so, and it fits right in the mold back there. You can see it's right into place. You don't have to shift it or turn it or anything. And then this also has a peg in it, so that will peg right in flush. You can't even tell there's a break there. So that works perfectly. And you can see the detail of that face just looks awesome, stellar, just great detail. Love what they've been doing with these classified figures, and this dude is just awesome. I really like him. I'm very impressed. Just look at the texture in that cape. Very well done. The seam all the way around it. There's no wiring, but it's a stiff enough material that I think you can pose it fairly well what you need. It would have been nice for there to have been some wire. I mean, of course, but overall, it's really well done. Very well done. So moving on to his head, you're going to be able to see that he's going to be able to look up a very good amount there. Even with this part back here, it hits it a little bit, but you're still able to go back a good amount. He's going to be able to look down all the way thanks to the fact that the neck moves. That's just amazing. Looks really good. And he's going to get excellent pivoting, expressiveness with that head. And just look at that face sculpt. Man, they just knocked it out of the park. They did an excellent job. I just love what they're doing with the classifieds. They're just looking so good. It's just awesome. All right, going on to the arms. He'll strike a T pose, go about that high. He does have a butterfly joint up in there that'll go backwards and forwards pretty well. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. It'll get about that much. He has horizontal hinges on both hands and wrists, which will swivel, of course. And so excellent there. These snakes really don't move, nor do they get in the way, which is fine. And by the way, on this side, you can pop that out because you have a peg, and you can have the short version or the long version there, like the fangs extended. But I like personally the short version on there for him, on just, you know, in a neutral sense. All right, he will also crunch forward about that much, and that's just the diaphragm. He'll bend back a good amount there. And then if you incorporate the waist, he'll be bend back even further. And you can also incorporate the waist bending forward. So you're going to get a good amount. And of course, side to side also, really good. And you're going to be able to turn from the waist and the diaphragm. And you do have the drop down method a little bit. And you're going to be able to get full splits. He does have thigh rotation, which is hidden well by these scales coming up in that armor. He has double jointed knees, which look great and function great, as well as boot cut, gets full tiptoes, goes up all the way, and gets excellent rockers with the peg hole in the bottom. So this dude is doing great. Look, he can kick up that way, well, or sideways if you want him to kick. Want your Serpentor to kick some butt. It's looking really good. Serpentor says, "Come on, Cobra Commander, it's your turn. This I command." And yes, it is your turn, Cobra Commander, for us to look at your articulation. And let's just bring him in a little closer. And the first thing that I notice after handling Serpentor is just how heavy this figure is. I mean, he is solid. He's got some weight to him, which is very interesting. He's very basic, very simple as far as his design, but that is to be expected because he looks just like he did in the cartoon, and he has all the trimmings, all the details. His Cobra symbol may be a little too perfect. A lot of times in the cartoon, it was crazy. It looked different just about every episode in different ways and different angles and stuff. I watched the movie not too long ago, and it was just weird how many different ways it would look sometime. But this is such an awesome rendition of Cobra Commander in cartoon form. And let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. That head popped right off almost effortlessly. It doesn't really look up very much. He is going to look down a good amount. He's going to get some pretty good head pivoting action going on there. And of course, look left to right. It's real loose on there, but it certainly functions. He's going to be able to get 360. He's going to be able to get better than a T pose, more of a Y pose there. Bicep swivel. Only single jointed elbows, which that's a little disappointing, but you do get that swivel at the elbow as well. And you also have the ability to hinge and swivel horizontally with that fist. No butterfly joint or anything there. Same basically on this side, I believe. Yeah, the wrist is still horizontally hinged on this side. All the trigger finger hands that Cobra Commander comes with are vertically hinged. So I was incorrect on that. You do have some vertically hinged hands. Sorry about that. You're going to be able to crunch forward just slightly. I mean, you would think that that hinge would get a better range than that. Let's see how he goes back. Goes back pretty good. Not too bad on that. It does aid a little bit, not much, but just a little bit at the waist, and you're also going to get a swivel at the waist there. This is a separate, actually no, it is not a separate piece, but this piece is molded into this or glued onto this, and this piece is molded into the belt apparatus there, which is, I believe, all molded in. There's not really a break there where you could take anything off. But he will swivel side to side like I showed you. All right, he will get not quite full splits. He'll go about that far. And up in here, inside of that ball joint, he is going to swivel, thigh swivel a little bit up in here, leg swivel. Single jointed knees. Trying to see it. I don't think it may be there, the swivel knee thing, but it's real tight. I think it might be there, but it's real tight. So I don't know. I just don't want to force it. But that's going to be the angle. It's basically 90 degrees that you're going to be able to get there. There's no boot cut, but you can go side to side with that foot. He's going to go full tiptoes. That's good. He's going to go up until it hits that cuff there. And even though there's a cuff there, he gets excellent rockers, and there's a peg hole in the bottom of these guys too. So Cobra Commander can use a peg. I'm surprised they didn't come, since all the Joes always used to come with little peg stands. I'm surprised Super 7 didn't include that with our Cobra Commander. But man, I always loved Cobra Commander in the cartoon. He was just, I don't know, just so cool. And he may have been silly sometimes and almost kind of incompetent, but always enjoyed his character and his and Destro's relationship. And then I really enjoyed Serpentor coming in and kind of being the superior over him, but then kind of Cobra Commander stepping up his game some, and then you kind of rooted for the underdog. I mean, but man, to see these side by side is just so fun. And I just think that, this will work. We'll compare Cobra Commander along with the classics. I'm sure he's going to be quite a bit taller and bigger than the classics. Even this helmet's quite a bit bigger than this Serpentor head. But overall, I mean, when you stand them side by side, let's go ahead and measure them while we are here. And we'll go ahead and get these guys standing up here. Cobra Commander's like, "Your staff is bigger than mine." All right, guys, we're not going to go there. All right, let's just take a look at this. First of all, Serpentor measures in at, oh man, he is just a hair over 7 inches, maybe 7 1/8 almost. And then Cobra Commander, he's just under the 7-inch mark. I mean, just under it. It's like 6 7/8 on the ruler. So that works because Serpentor needs to be taller than Cobra Commander in this scenario. And so that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, it's time. Let's do some comparisons. Okay, now this is where it becomes a problem. Look how much both of these guys dwarf Destro. I mean, I can understand Serpentor being this big because he was bigger than everybody. Even in the cartoon, he was tall, he was big. He was like this morph of all these DNAs, monsters and terrorists and dictators and warriors from the past all mixed in. I forget all their names. I think Napoleon was one, and oh man, I can't remember all the names, but there were just so many, you know. I guess we'll find out when we get Dr. Mindbender. He'll remember. But Cobra Commander is huge beside this Destro. I mean, this is just not going to work with most of your photos if you do side by side. But you could probably fudge it and, you know, adapt it a little bit. Put Destro on a lift, or, you know, a little higher up step or something. I don't know. We'll see in our photos if we can make it work. But as you can see here, yeah, the classifieds, it's not just Destro. I mean, just look. Here's a Viper. I mean, really? I mean, look how much taller, you know, Cobra Commander is than the Viper. And, yeah, I mean, it's just obvious here that our Cobra Commander is the Ultimates. And just to give you a scale of comparison, because this is the first time we've ever had a Serpentor, to my knowledge, in 1/12 scale. So, but we do have a Cobra Commander. I have one Cobra Commander, and you can just see it almost looks like he's standing beside the 3 1/4 size next to this new Cobra Commander. I mean, look at that. He really is a lot taller, even a head taller than this Cobra Commander. Now, of course, you know, Serpentor is supposed to be a head taller. He's huge, he's big, so that's okay. But I just don't know. It's gonna be a little difficult putting this guy in with this scale. I was really hoping that I could use this Cobra Commander with the classics, and again, we might can fudge it a little bit with some photo tricks, but overall, he's gonna be big. The Ultimates is gonna be big. They're not gonna fit in with, but he's not gonna fit in with this group. So, unfortunately, not on your shelf, not in a standard way. All right, let's do a few other comparisons. Now, the Crimson Twins really liked Serpentor, especially at the beginning, but they did not always get along with Cobra Commander. Brother, do you not believe that Cobra Commander has grown an entire foot in stature since last time we saw him? Agreed! All right. Yes, he is way too tall for the classics in general, as we see again. But this Cobra Commander looks awesome! Why can't we have one this size in classics, and I wouldn't have had to pay $58 for this action figure or something like that. Maybe $54.99. But after shipping, you know. But anyway, here we are. He did come with a whole lot of cool accessories though, and I like this character, but I am not getting all the other Ultimates, so you'll have to find those reviews elsewhere. I just can't afford it, and they are just overkill for me. I mean, I've got classics. I like my classics Duke and Scarlet. I like my classic Snake Eyes, all 6 of them. I like these classified, I should say classified. I've been saying classics, but you know what I'm saying. But here we are. I mean, here we are, but this is the, you know, dream come true Cobra Commander. I mean, his accessories and his look even came with the other helmet option. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? Just cool. But I always thought he should have the white stripe on the top. Matter of fact, my 3 1/4 scale figure, I painted it on. I painted it on him. But anyway, this looks amazing. All right, I think you get the point for comparisons. I don't really know of anything else I could compare it to that you'd be interested in. The Action Force figures are the same size as Classified, and I only have one of them, the Pandora. Now, I have to say, there's one thing that Cobra Commander can do, and that's rock that throne. He fits in there great, and he looks great size-wise, and the articulation works. And of course, with him sitting there, with the other figures around him, you really can't tell the height difference. So that's one way you could pose this Cobra Commander in with your classified figures, is just keep him in a throne. You can get those thrones in different colors on eBay for about anywhere from $25 to $40, I believe, depending on where you get it. All right, cool. They're 3D printed. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out the Chariot. Here we go. It's a shame Dr. Mindbender could not be here for this special event, this special occasion, especially seeing that he probably invented the Chariot. Or did Destro invent it? I'm not sure. But just look how awesome this thing is. It is massive and it is awesome. It is the perfect color, has all the perfect details. Everything's there. It has articulation, even has the ability to pull down those little landing gear pieces, as you can see here, and they will fold in. They'll fold in and fold out. Isn't that cool? And look, even the propeller here spins. But yeah, it'll spin. The little propeller in there spins. There's silver. If you can see, yeah, you can see it moving there, and there's silver propellers, and that is so cool. Then you see, of course, the machine gun chain here of ammo, and these do move just like they did in the original toy. This does not move here, but check this out. Just check this out. And yes, there's a little pistol or cannon on the inside of his mouth, or I guess you could have that be some spray, like spraying some kind of mist poison or fog, you know, I don't know, or darts. You could use your imagination on that, but isn't that awesome? Just check that out. It's got all the decals, just like, and look, even got the crown, the Emperor crown, has all the decals just like the original did, has ventilation. Just look at the detail, just even the colors. I mean, where it should be glossy, it's glossy. Where it should be matte, it's matte. Look, there's even a dial there on this. Now this does not turn, but there's a little dial on that where he holds on to this, and he does hold on to it. There's double pegs here, so he's going to be able to hold on good and stay steady on there. And just look at the detail. Those are not stickers only. Those are actually molded in, plus with some stickers on the inside of those molded in controls there on the inside. But that's just so awesome. And then of course you have these steering pods here that are attached. And look back here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Like where the exhaust comes out, or the power is, you know, thrusting it forward, levitating. This levitating chariot, you know, it's almost like, I don't know, back in the gladiator days where they had chariots pulled by horses. This one is pulled by the power, you know, of a snake, and not on wheels. It's just, you know, levitating or whatever. But it's just fabulous all the way around. This thing is just awesome. It's very easy to put together. Just pop the pieces on, and you can just look at the picture and pretty much figure it out. I didn't even have to follow the instructions. But man, is that awesome or what? All right, we will look at Serpentor on it right quick and let you see that, and then we will be out of here. And here he comes, and I have to say, this was no disappointment. And yes, I believe it was worth 70, whatever it was, 70 some dollars with the shipping and tax. Oh man, just awesome figure. And yes, it's worth it. The quality of this chariot, the quality of this figure, the accessories he comes with. I mean, this dude is just, it's a grail piece. It's a grail piece. I've seen statues of Serpentor and thought, man, I wish I had one of those, and they're like $200, you know. Well, this guy with the chariot and the articulation that's well hidden, no pins, pinless tech, 2 headdresses so he gets that head all around. I mean, you can't ask for better than that. The quality of that cape, just look at the scales, almost like alligator print on the back. This just really looks phenomenal. I can't say enough about it. Hope that you were able to get one if you wanted one. Man, this is, like I said, this is one of my grail pieces for me. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to do it right here for Serpentor. And this chariot, I give them a 10 out of 10. That's right, yes, a 10 out of 10. And you know I rarely do that, but here it is. Man, this thing is awesome. And thank you so much for joining us for this Super Dave review. Please like if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't. It really helps the channel. And comment if you have something to say. There's Cobra Commander back there. And come back and see us again for another Super Dave review. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us.